Welcome back. Let's do another save. Ready for fasteners. I'm getting tired of this color as well. Let's change the color. Blue. Nah, we were just kind of there. Oh no. Oh no. Green. Different green. Sure. We've got a lot of stuff happening here. We're done with these bodies. The caps. We're also done in a way with our gears themselves. We just need to connect all these guys together. In the previous video we placed a couple of fasteners for sizing. We're not going to use them other than to keep track of which one's which. So I believe we had an M8 and an M10. First, let's start figuring out how to do this. In this one, we're just going to ignore washers and all that sort of stuff, just to keep the complexity down. So let's just be aware of that. What I'm going to do here is, well, there's lots of options. We can put holes and do patterns, which is probably not a bad idea. Let's see how it goes with doing that first. I'm just going to place a hole in this bottom here, and it's going to be a clearance hole. Where are we here? Clearance. There it is. And we're looking for an M10, I believe. Normal in the socket head. I'm going to use this as the plane as a guide, and the edge as a so we can see what it's doing here. So come on now, going through, come on, there. We kind of saw it. It's underneath there, so it's 5 millimeters. So it's probably more like, I think it was 9. Where are we here? 9. Puts it in the middle because we had an 18 wide. Oh no, 11, 9, 10, so 10 altogether. Sorry, get a little feedback there. 10, 10, centered, and it's on the plane at the top. So on this plane here, so it's locked in place. Let's say okay. What if we try a pattern here? Just dive right in, pattern on path. Features, that one. Objects, done. Path. Extent is between or spacing. Let's go for extent. Identical doesn't matter because of the hole and all the rest, but how long is it? Right, so what we can do here is measure. There's a hidden thing inside of this, inside of Fusion and lots of Autodesk. You can pick a measure from next to the part. Should give us the whole thing to however many decimal places you want. I'm going to copy that. And let's go for a reasonable number like 12. Oh, that's not right. Let's go for spacing. What is going on? Oh, hold on here. So you can kind of see the problem. We're also going outward on the other side. Let's try the other path direction. That's more like it. Now, let's delete that and remeasure. trying to see the amount. It's 208 more or less. So 12. So we've got here, what are we doing here? We've got the spacing, 207, that's not going to work. So let's remember 208. And it's not spacing, but extent. It'll reset back to 208. Distance. Oh, that's 208. Good Lord. Why? Let's pull it around manually. Good Lord. You can see where, as we snap there, 245 is what I'm going to do. 250, 750. And we want 12. Oh, sorry about all that. And if we want 12 over 750, that's extent. If we switch to spacing, it'll do the math for us. And it should be 750 divided by 12. But no, that doesn't work. 11. Because we've got two of them. Sorry, we've got 11 gaps. So I'm just moving this very badly. I'm not going to get carried away here. 753 after all that carry on. 754 goes beyond. 752. 3. Good enough. After all that, let's just see if it works. Where do we end up with stuff? Let's have a look from the top. Is it nicely symmetrical? It's not bad. It's not great. Right, so we can see there's problems here. Right, so another way to do this is actually to do a sketch after all that. So we run into problems, as you've seen. You're laughing at me now, but that's the dilemma. We have all these things that we'd like to be in control of. So I'm going to cancel out of that and actually go back one step and put a sketch on this guy. And I'm actually going to put it on the top face. So we've got sketches running. This is sketch 4. I'm going to call this whole pattern base or foot. Actually, undercut foot. And it's a sketch, we don't need pattern. Sorry, holes, foot. After all that, starting to get crazier. Now, we learned before that we've got a gap here of 20. Let's just do a measure to make sure we got that right. 20. And we know that from our sketch. So what we can do is turn on that layout front. And we're going to do an offset here of -10. This gives us a line to follow if we want. And we can X that. So I'm going to put points on here. So S point. And you can make patterns within the sketch, of course. But what I'm trying to do here is keep everything under control. So I'm just going to put a bunch of points here. Layout front, we don't need any more. And I'm just going to make this horizontal from the origin that's getting projected down. We have another down here, which is 90 along, and just going to go ahead here and snap there. We'll put one in between. Put one in the middle of this line. Same in the back. It's kind of hard to see with the colors I've got. Put one in the middle of this. This is a bit more of a rational sort of thing. We've got 3 over here. We'll line them up in a minute. One in the midpoint. one in the other midpoint. Let me change my color here. I'm going for a light color so I can see what's going on. Yellow or something. So last, I've got another point, and you can see the midpoint now. So these guys need to be dimensioned. We know our distances. We could use a projection to do this, but let's just have at her. And it's quite a big gap here. So maybe we could do another one. This is I'm doing this in a strange way now, but we get the idea. Hide the bodies for a second. And we'll just make these horizontal. Oh, or points, of course. Yo, Colin. Horizontal. Finish the sketch. Body disappears. There we go. Let's do the whole. Change it to sketch-driven holes. Should be able to pick through. You'll notice it's also trying to snap to the ends of line segments anywhere in here. Say okay. Now, maybe, if we're lucky, we can just project these guys on top. Now, we did some work trying to keep all of this. Let's just do it again. So I'm going to do this in order so you can see what goes on, and then we'll just do the top separately. Fastener. No, fillet, fastener. Bolts and screws. Cap screw, socket heads, alright. We'll use this ISO DIN slash from 2004, the second option here. There's a lot of stuff you can see as you go, and as you move around it'll size to monstrous size, M56, and it shows you those sizes. It's kind of live as you go. We want it more small like this. There we go. And auto length. Let's go for auto. See what that does. That's a little crazy. Click it once to pick. And if you're got select similar turned on, it'll fill them all in. And right now it's thinking, let's make it 30. Let's go with 30. Say okay. There we are. Perfect. You see a lot of joints happening here. You can hide them by just turning off the visibility. That's a lot of joints, right? So if we want, we can remove these by just adjusting the sketch. So it's up to you. I've got a lot. It's crazy talk. I think we are going overboard here with these two guys. Let's adjust that a little bit. We can either get rid of the sketch, or we can adjust the holes. Which is probably easier. So if we get rid of all of these, maybe we don't need so many. We should also just get rid of these middle ones. Now our fastener is going to get upset. So just edit that if we can. It should just pick up the new number. No. Come on now. let's auto the size, pick the edge. Just try to jolt. Oh my good lord. I'm going to delete that because I'm just getting tired of this. Let's come back and do this later now that we know what we're going on with. Let's do the same on the top. I'm going to go ahead here and create a sketch again. Maybe. Where are we here? Create a sketch on that surface, living on the edge of the column here. Offset. I'm going to actually use the offset to figure out how much we need. That's 18 again. So we just need 9. Okay. Double click to select the whole thing, turn it to construction, put some points on it. I'm going to follow the same track as below. Middle of that. Those edges. No, not there. I'll delete that one later. And where on this guy? Well, I'm going to put 3, so we'll put the middle and escape out of that. Don't need that one. Not so happy about those either. Let's go ahead and be a bit more specific. We could put them 90 again. Let's project the other sketch. Hide that sketch. Get our points again. And just horizontal them. Good lord. Or not. A little bit closer. You're really grumpy, that one. Okay, let's hide the bodies so we can see what we're doing. So we're using the one sketch to drive the next, and our last but not least. Oh, points. And horizontal. I'm using the points I've picked in case I want to move them. Everything looks okay. Show the bodies. Show the bodies. Put the holes in. Some more holes. As soon as we start picking these, it should pick up on what we're after. I want to go through 2 something, so 2 this underside. And it's a clearance hole again for this time an M8. Normal, that's all fine, socket head. Do that. So we've got our holes. We can hide our sketch after we rename it. Holes. Cap. For the cap of the cap of the part. So we can hide the sketches. And now our last but not least, just to finish off here with putting our fasteners in, making our components and finishing off. So let's do our fasteners again. M10. So bolts and screws, socket head, both standards at once. Let's pick an M10. And auto is 30. It's fine. It's just gizm. Now we're happy with this because we've done this before. Let's create and continue. Go ahead up here. Pick this guy. Should go over to an M8. Pick it once. Auto. That's not quite right. So let's pull it up a bit. We can drag this on purpose. I'm going to put a little, hopefully, a hex head under here. We'll see how that goes. fasteners, nuts. I want the smallest I can get. So let's go with a hex. And let's see here. There's a lot of other stuff going on here. Prevailing torque, no. Let's go back to nuts. Hex is probably what we're going to have to use. Oh, sorry. Gonna get rid of my filter here. I've been sorting for DIN standard. I want metric though. Why can't I find lock nuts? Sorry, looking for lock nuts here. Hex. Good Lord. Forget it. I'll just use a standard hex for now. I'm making the point. DIN and go look for DIN and ISO again. And see. Gonna go for the standard DIN part here. Been flapping around here too long, it's starting to get upset. Let's see how these go. That's probably the best part. Let's go up here and pick our part. Does it fit? No, it's not bad, actually. Let's just go with that while we can. Auto M8. I'm using a plain auto nut hex head. So, and it's a diagonal M8 by 1.25. Say okay. I'm assuming everything's working out for the threads. And there we go. Now, the first thing, one of the things we might worry about is this sticking out too far. So let's just edit the fastener. And it's nice enough to leave behind the other one. We can't get anything better than that. So as soon as we go too far down, it doesn't get happy. So, okay. And there we go. Put our caps back on. And everything's one color, which is not great. So let's go ahead here and rename all these parts first. And the last step is to make the cap. So housing cap. Ugly. Body. Not too bad. We're going to skip filleting and all that sort of stuff. So we'll call this a cap. Double open. Cap. Double. Closed. Or blind. Once we've named them all, select them and make components from bodies. Oh, that's an ugly color. There we go, can't leave that. There we go, better. And this is just me being picky, just trying to get the colors about the same. I'd like them both to be greenish. And these should probably be more reddish. Or orange, there we go. There we go. That's our housing done with all the stuff in it. So after all that, we can hide things, for example the cap, have a look inside, and marvel at how long that took. This is quite involved. There are, some of you watching this may have noticed as we go along, maybe I made some errors. Like for example, I didn't check that these nuts are matching the pitch of the fasteners. I'm assuming they gave us the right answer, but just wanted to get done. We're also not putting fillets on here. Like it's up to, I suppose we could add quite easily like one, just to make sure that we're kind of getting somewhere. The advantage of these is we can do this at the top level, still fits inside. No, it's good for the hex. I sound inordinately happy there. Do the back. Oh, don't want that. Did I just get an edge there? I think I did. No, maybe not. Get the face for this guy. Give us the whole thing. And that's enough. Like we can keep doing this forever. But for now, let's just say there we go. Now, one thing that we're going to be interested in is the weight, the masses of all this stuff. So we're going to go ahead here and hide everything but the stuff we made. So get rid of those two gears and pick these guys and get a volume of that. So I'm just going to change my units over to centimeter and ask for properties. Show me this highlighted, and then give us the properties, volume 95 and a bit, just for completeness. We're not going to get too carried away. Well, let's just, I suppose, get it right. So there we go. That's our plan. We've got these four things selected, and we're ignoring the fasteners and all that sort of stuff. Again, you can do this differently. So you can pick different stuff. It'll update. And oh, looks like my volumes are all different. Come on, man, pick them all at once. That's not quite right, is it? Okay, just give it to us one after the other. How about that? Volume 95 for the cap closed. 253 for the cap of the housing. The main body is 1000-ish, 1004, and the cap double with the openings is 108. There we go. At long last, done. Thanks for watching. I'm leaving these two things over here. They're not gonna get in the way. Over to you. Have a lovely time.